Good morning, everyone. We are at the office. It's a very exciting morning. My name is Natasha. I'm a property manager and licensed real estate agent in the state of Oregon, soon to be in California and worldwide, maybe Hawaii. I'm not sure, but I'm excited for the future. But today I wanted to discuss kind of like the little cute spots to eat in the different various places around the world that I've been. Because I don't think at least I don't think, like, let me find a house where there's a cute ramen spot or a cute coffee shop. They just kind of pop up, right? Unless it's like your thing. For me, it's more of grocery store, school, gym, like hobbies. I guess I'm not that big of a foodie, even though I love to eat. But yeah, when I was in Japan, so I worked in Osaka. I was at a school in downtown Osaka, and I lived in Nagai. I guess it's I want to say like 10 train stops away from the center, like from downtown Osaka. Just past Dobsu Mai. I can't say that. There's a voiceless vowel there. I can never say it. I would just not say it. And they're like, no, you're missing a whole sound. And I'm like, you're not making a sound. But I guess my American ears cannot hear that, the voiceless vowels in Japanese. But so over there, in between like Nagai, Dotsumai, over there, there's a beautiful botanical garden. That's more my thing. I wanted like a cute coffee shop or a garden where I can read or something. Yeah, at that botanical garden, there was, I don't know if you know about Osusumabachi. Correct my pronunciation, those of you out there. It means a small sparrow bee. So it's the bee size of a sparrow, okay? And I'm not exaggerating. Unfortunately, the year I was there, 43 people died in Japan from these. If you want to freak yourself out, go Google it. But yeah, when I was in those gardens, it felt like a small plane was landing, and I looked over, and this bee, the size of like, is probably a little bit shorter than the length of like from my tip to heel of my palm. And I said, the garden is yours. And I promptly left. I was like, it was a beautiful garden, but I'm not fighting this Osusu Mebachi. Anyways, that's not food. I definitely gotta go to 7-Eleven in Japan. They're superior to everywhere else. I really like their, I think it's yakisoba. That was the first meal I had in Japan. My coworkers came and got me at the airport, carried all my things. I had 2 large, like, non-rolling suitcases, and that was everything I owned. And they helped me lug it up 3 flights of stairs, and then we went to 7-Eleven, so they made sure I had food, and there was meat on top. That was the thing in Japan. I never knew what meat I was eating. I just was like, well, I have to eat. So here it is. I'm sure it was like pork or chicken. It didn't taste too different from what I was used to, but it was definitely, I just remember sitting there like after the long flight, just in the dark in the apartment by myself, because that was the first time I lived abroad by myself, and just eating my noodles and my mystery meat. Super good. I continued to eat that as I lived in Japan, but it's like this oblong plate stacked with like soba noodles, I think, and like a sauce, probably like teriyaki or something, yakisoba, and then the meat on top. There's only like 4 or 5 pieces, but then you can like, they microwave it for you at 7-Eleven. I guess I do that here in the States. It's not like 7-Eleven. It's not like a thing here. It's like you want to get a Slurpee, you want to get snacks or whatever it is that you like, little things. But it was like you could live off of food from 7-Eleven. I did. Because I would go to the grocery store. I forgot what the grocery store was. But if you look up Nagai, Nagai, there's a supermarket, there's the botanical gardens, there's a whole bunch of other stuff too. And the dollar store there was pretty amazing. Oh my gosh, the customer service in Japan is probably the best in the world. I remember I was trying to translate because I was learning Japanese, but I definitely still needed my phone, like, to some new words. I think it was like bug spray or some word that you don't learn on Duolingo, right? And so I remember this man, when I asked a question, he said, hi, like, yes. and he like leapt over things. Like if he was restocking stuff, he like leapt over them and came over and like tried to translate for me and helped me out and went and found the thing and he showed me all my options. And I was like, dang, like America's got pretty good customer service, but you always get like some snotty person who's over it because we're disrespected in the States. Treat your service people, your servers, bartenders, baristas, all of them well. First of all, they can spit in your food. I never did that, but also just like think about yourself. But they're working hard and they're sweaty and their boss is probably mean and you don't know how many people have yelled at them already today, so please be nice to them. Anyways, but in Japan, everybody's super respectful and the customer service was like so fast. So that was one place that I ate a lot at because I didn't know, like a lot, when I go to the grocery store, I hadn't learned like all the kanji yet and I was learning to read. But like when you learn to read in places that are a little bit closer to your own culture, you can kind of guess, right? You can be like, well, I know this word and I know that picture, and you like figure it out. I didn't recognize the food. I couldn't like guess kanji. Like I remember being in the elevator and there was this cute like 8-year-old, I don't know, they're shorter than American kids, so it probably was like a 10-year-old, but I saw him like on the wall of the elevator. He was practicing his kanji and I realized, like I asked my coworker like how schools are, you know, in Japan. And like, you know how we have spelling tests? Well, they have kanji tests. Like that's their homework is to study kanji. It's kind of like their spelling. And I was like, that's so cute. Oh my gosh. I know we're talking about food in this video, but when you're on, like the trains are so efficient and so clean and so safe that like kindergartners take the subway by themselves. But it's like the whole country has a culture of like you take care of your kids and the kids just go on their merry way to school, to home, to whatever. And they're just so tiny with their little backpacks. And they all have this certain backpack. It's like, I think it's weatherproof. It has like a plastic cover over it. Like a raincoat kind of plastic. And it's just so adorable. But I was like mind blown when I saw just like these group of little 5-year-olds just on the subway. And I'm freaking out on the subway because I don't know where I'm going. But like they're just fine. Anyways, but yeah, I also lived next to this ramen spot, which I'm telling you, Japan was wasted on me. I didn't know what I was doing there. I didn't go there until like the day before I left. I walked past it every single day. I got the humid exhaust from the boiling water in the summer into my face every time I walked past those vents, but I only had ramen once there and it was so good. I have to go back. I can go back. What else? I did go to a Hello Kitty Sanrio surprise store when I was 28, and I don't know about you other millennials, but like that was like the thing. It was my life, it was my religion. And I went to a mall with my coworker who was also like 30 years old, and I was like, oh my gosh, these socks, they're so cute, I want them. She's like, yeah, I liked those when I was a kid. I was like, don't ruin this for me. So that was Japan. Russia. So I think Russian food sits well with me. I don't know if I just picked out what I like because I'm a child and don't want vegetables. But Russia's a huge country. I think it's geographically, yes, this is how we measure it, bigger than the States, right? And if you were to go to California, to Texas, to Miami, to New York, Maine, Michigan, Oregon, you're going to get different foods. Or also, sorry about the Midwest, somewhere in there, Oklahoma. You're going to get 17 different types of foods, right? Like, or even the Americanized version of the different various cuisines, but it's gonna be different, like Mexican food in Texas versus California, so different, right? So I only experienced like 3 territories or 3 provinces in Siberia. Obviously, I love pelmeni. Like we didn't really eat out that much. We more like, because we were with a group of people, so we were going to people's houses. So I remember one time, oh, and the lady's name was Natasha, and they're like, oh, this is our Natasha, and this is your Natasha. And so we made pelmeni from scratch, like rolled out the dough and put the meat inside and squish, and then boiled it and everything, and with smetana, with sour cream. Oh my gosh, I love that. And I've been able to find it here, like certain, not in Oregon, but in California, certain different international grocery stores. But I love pelmeni. I really like shashlik. I guess it was, I don't know if it was specifically Tuvan barbecue, but that was pretty cool. Like we went to a park and we ate, but they like marinated the night before. So it was, I think, mayonnaise. I think that's why I like Russian. There's a lot of mayonnaise, there's a lot of sour cream, a lot of oomph to it, and like warm and bread. I think they said, if there's a Russian saying, again, correct me, that if you haven't had bread, you're still hungry. And I really fuck with that. I love bread. And so, yeah, the shashlik was pretty cool. What else did we have that I liked? I mean, there was a bunch of different salads, but again, I'm a child. I didn't want that. But I think the people that were hosting us, their friend owned a restaurant and we went there. So I also, like, they drove us around. So I don't remember the name, but I was in Tuba and I was in the capital, Kazil. So it's a pretty small town. You'll find it. This is such a helpful video. You'll find it in the middle of Siberia. What else did we eat? Oh, kvass is the soda that's like, oh, it's kind of not like kombucha. It's more soda-y than kombucha, but kvass, am I saying that right? I didn't really like it, but my teammates did. Yeah. Indonesia. Oh my gosh. So I was with my two friends. All three of us were American. And we did like touristy things, I think, together. So those restaurants are just like, it's like, just tourist spots, like food. It's not like anything to note, not to write home about, that's the expression. But me and my one friend, we went to just like a side of the road. I think it was in Nusa Penida. So basically any like noodle stand that it's like Indomie, but like they fry it, so it's like chow mein basically. But that and a Fanta on the side of the road for $1.40, gotta do that. So the tip is, in Indonesia at least, and I'm sure this applies to other places where there's street food, and if you are a foreigner, you gotta be careful with like bacteria that you're not used to, right? Well, so I had previously been like, don't eat street food, you're gonna die, you're gonna get Bali belly, Moctezuma's revenge. It's true, you do. You want to get those charcoal tabs for 3 weeks. I was chomping those charcoal tabs. You're just getting used to new water. Even if you like take a shower and like those bacteria touch the water, you're gonna get it. You just gotta get the immunity, So, but yeah, you don't want to eat like bad meat that's been soaking in the equator distance. Like you're at the equator, like the heat, the sun is melting. But you want to go to like ones that are very popular, so the food is constantly being turned over, because I believe, probably in the name of not wasting food, which is great, they don't throw away the food, which is great, but also that means that food could sit there past what is food like safety and health, safety. So you always want to go to a very popular spot. Obviously it probably tastes better because that's why everybody's going there, but also that means there's a turnover. And also that means that it's a street food, so it's cheaper than going to like an international restaurant, right? If you want a burger in Southeast Asia, which also what's going on with you, hey, sometimes you get cravings, but like that's gonna be an American price. So if you're trying to save money while you're traveling in Southeast Asia, eat the street food, eat the food of the country, right? Where else today? India, my grandma's house. No, I think the last time I went to India, my grandma made me, they're called parathas, but I called them prantis because I was a child and Hindi's not my first language. I learned some, but so I call them prantis. And my grandma made me like 5 or 6. And I don't know if you know about parathas. They're made with clarified butter, ghee. So those are super fat, they're so good. Especially by the way my grandma crunches them with the ghee. She's got the grandma's touch. We also went to, so my grandma's she's in the US now, but we were from New Delhi, and so when we were there, we would go with, I guess it's my dad's cousin, so it's my second cousin, I don't know, but we went with them to their club. They're rich, they got the Mercedes and driver and all that stuff. We went to their club, kind of like a country club, and we had food there. We had momos, which, I think there's a theme here. It's kind of like hot stickers, pelmeni. You know, it's like that Asian noodle thing, right? Dim sum. What is that thing called? It's like a noodle, but it wraps it. Wonton wrappers. Anyways, so we had momos, and chai is always a must. We went to Agra, we went to the Taj Mahal, and naturally we got Pizza Hut. But like, I like going to, so I'm definitely all for like, don't go to just the touristy spots. Go to like where the locals eat, because you can actually eat good food and like support local. But also, big corporations like don't cover me. Starbucks, Pizza Hut, like when you go to different countries, it's different. It's not just the same stuff. So like in Japan, when I went to Starbucks, there was a lot more matcha flavored pastries and things, right? It wasn't, I believe it wasn't just because like there was a new matcha loaf. It was like there was different, it was like a thing, right? So same thing when I went to India and I went to Pizza Hut or Domino's, either way. There's different flavors. Like you can put chicken tikka on pizza and it's delicious. And it was funny. Well, not funny, because like it was my grandma and her coworker. So they've known each other for what, 50 years? And since they're older, you respect your elders. But I think it's like you respect your elders, but you as a kid or younger person don't get respect. You don't get a choice. You don't get to say anything. So when you get old, you're like ready to bitch everyone out and yell at everybody and tell them what to do. And so my grandma's coworker, or now best friend, like complained, oh, the music's too loud. Oh, this is not good. Oh, that's not. I was like, oh, shoot. So like, I think they're worse than the Americans, how they treat their servers, bartenders, whatever. And I was just like, I could never ask someone, can you turn off the music for the whole establishment? I mean, it takes balls, so kudos to her, but also I felt so bad for those 20-year-old kids that were serving these older ladies, because you can't say no. You cannot, right? Oh yeah, and then I made a faux pas. I had money from it's my dad's best friend's wife, so she's my aunt, kind of. She gave me some money just as a gift. And you know how you're supposed to, like, at least in the Middle East and India, I don't know where else in the world, but you like fight to the death to pay the bill. But there's like a dance, and I didn't know the dance. Ugly American Party one. And so like both older grandmas were fighting. No, let me pay. No, nine, back and forth. And then I pay. And the disappointment in my grandmother's face. I was like, oh, I did something wrong. I was like, but you guys were fighting. I was trying to keep the peace. And like, it's not even my money. It's money from Kanakanti. And so, yeah, so learned a lot of things at Pizza Hut in Agra. Where else have I traveled though? Oh, Greece. Oh my God. Greece, Turkey. I know like we love Italian and Mexican food, like they're great, but have you had Greek food? Have you had Turkish food? Oh my God. So again, I'm just like a cheese and bread gal. Just give me cheese and bread from anywhere in the world. I'm happy. So I was in, I don't even know where to start. I'm so excited. The Turkish airport. I didn't even get out. We were just layover. I don't know which direction, if we're going back home or to Greece. Gozlamaz? Am I saying that right? Please somebody correct me. It's the best thing I've ever had in my entire fucking life. At the airport. It was like $2 for this heavenly piece of bread that is stuffed with, I think I have a recipe, so I'm thinking back to what it says. I think it's like feta cheese, which I'm not a fan of feta cheese. Ew. Goat cheese? Ew. Get away from me. And I think it was like the softer goat cheese. I don't know what that's called. It's goat cheese. And then it's like stuffed in there and it's so good. So if you're ever in a layover in the airport, highly recommend. And in Greece, this is embarrassing, the gas station. So on the outskirts of Athens, there's a Holiday Inn. It was the first time I had traveled internationally. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, it's a hotel, I got it. So we went to the Holiday Inn outside Athens, and that gas station right there, I ate so much spanakopita. You can imagine the results. It was so good. It was so cheap, and it was right there. And then obviously the Holiday Inn has, you know, continental breakfast, Greek style. Is I don't. Oops. Like, it was not as good as the gas station spanakopita. So I think that's like, you gotta like know when something's fresh, when the locals are eating it, so that way you know you won't get sick. And then just like eat food wherever you are. So I think those were like the main places. Mexico. This is so hard because it's like there's street food and I don't have the address or the name. I don't even know if these places have names. It's just like cart and food. But I guess it would be just like, I think it's like the main highway if you're going from San Diego to Tijuana to Ensenada. I don't think we even made any lefts or rights or anything. It's just like that main road. If there's a taco stand with a lot of people, you gotta go there. But traveler's tip. So, you know, like you're not supposed to drink the water and you need to make sure that when you have the water bottle, you crack it. Because I know at least in India, they could reuse the water bottles. Again, we're not assuming the worst of people, but maybe they're just trying to save plastic or money, and then it affects your tummy, and that's how you get deli belly. So make sure you crack it. Don't take any ice, and don't. This is so relevant. Don't eat your vegetables because I don't like vegetables. But like if it's a fresh vegetable and it's been washed in like Mexico, India, Bali, I was fine, but also Bali was like the most recent, so I think my body was like building up all the parasites from around the world, because we have parasites in your own country. It's just you're used to them. Anyways, open your own water bottle, no ice, and if there's fresh vegetables, don't eat them, especially in Mexico and India. That's just what happened to my tummy, because I was fine because I don't eat vegetables. So I just had my tacos gringos, just like a flour tortilla with meat. I was also really young, but at 34 I would still order it the same way. So I didn't get sick. Everyone else that was an adult and had vegetables and salsa and things, they all were in the outhouse in the middle of the forest or the desert. And I'm just so thankful that I didn't eat my vegetables. Anyways, also Costco in Mexico is pretty cool too. It's the same. I didn't notice anything different. It's the same as California and Oregon Costco's. I didn't go shopping in it, but like the pizza and the muffins and, you know, the things that Costco's known for were the same. There was no like Mexican improvement, like there was a Japanese improvement or an Indian improvement to the corporate foods. Where else have I eaten? Japan. I think that's all of it. So I think the moral of the story is just walk on the street and your belly will lead you. But no, I think definitely those three cautionary things. Make sure that the street food is being overturned and it's very popular. Crack open your own water bottles. Don't drink the ice. And in countries that are developing, maybe don't eat the vegetables that have just been washed. Like if it's been like chopped and then boiled and, you know, cooked, then you should be fine. And then in case you aren't fine, I think they're called diatabs. They're like charcoal tabs, and you could find them anywhere in Bali. I hadn't seen them. Maybe they're just new to me because that's where I needed them the most. Or like other countries, I pack like Pepto-Bismol, Gas X, and Tums, and then what else? Ibuprofen, obviously. Those are like, I will not leave the house without them. Yeah, in India, I definitely chugged like a whole bottle of Pepto-Bismol for a week. It's not good. But like, hey, I got to see the Taj Mahal, got to hang out with my grandma. That's what you gotta do. So, safe travels and eat your heart out.